Okay, now we have poured the honey in, and we've got that going there. And in addition to that, now I'm zesting some lemon in here. And of course, I had Phil go out and get fresh lemons for me, because the one thing I insist on is fresh lemons. Even though we had some lemons in the refrigerator, I wanted to make certain that they were completely fresh. And we just take that yellow part and get that in there, because I use a lot of lemon for this holiday with all the fish and everything. And this is one of the dishes that we need to have that good fresh lemon in. And then we use these candied fruits that you see around the holidays. Many people use them for a fruit cake, but we use them to go in with our strufelas, and they just make it such a nice color. So we get that all in there, and we just let that cook until it caramelizes a little bit. We don't want it too much, so really just good and hot, and where it starts to bubble. You can see what we've got there. It's just lovely. Move my hand so you can see that there. And so that's really very, very nice. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our strufelas, the ones that we've got them all fried now, we're going to put those into the honey. We can turn that off. And we're just going to turn that in the honey so that they all get nice and coated with that honey mixture. And the fruits will be mingled all throughout it. And it always seems that no matter how much honey I put on it when I prepare them, Phil has to put a little bit more when we serve it. So if you feel the same way, just have that honey handy. And anyone who wants to add a little bit more at the table will be able to do so. Make sure they all get nicely coated. We don't want anybody to get cheated here. And of course we can always drizzle some more over it once we have it put together. So that looks pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with it at this point. And then what we're going to do is take our dish here, and we're going to start to put the strufelas on the dish. And of course we want it to look festive, so I have a crystal plate that I use to showcase these on. After all that work, this is a real masterpiece. So we want to show it off so that it not only tastes good, but it looks good as well. going to just put this pan upside down here so that we can set this here and you'll be able to see it. And I'll be able to use both hands to make it a little bit easier. Now, I normally make an extra plate for Phil and I, but since we've already eaten a whole dish of these, I think that we probably don't need any more until the holiday. But we love to have these with our coffee, and we frequently have them in the morning, at breakfast time, at lunchtime, at dinner time, and before we go to bed. So, as you can see, we really enjoy them. But he often asks me, why don't you make them more than just at the holidays? And of course I say that if I did that, it wouldn't have that special treat feeling for us, because then it would be something that we got all the time. This is something that's just for the holidays. And I think that your family would probably enjoy these as well. Aren't they pretty? They really grew a lot. Sometimes they don't get that big. It all depends on how your dough does. And this time, because we had you as a special guest watching, I think it came out probably even a little bit better than normal.
Looking good, Mom.
You like the looks of it?
Huh?
You like the looks of it?
Yeah. Excellent. Looks like
All right.
the best.
Well, I was telling everybody that normally I make a separate dish for you and I, but since we already ate the whole dish.
Oh. Okay, well, we can have this dish too.
As you can see, it's starting to get pretty full here. How does he look? And I'm going to put these all around the edge so that it looks just right. Like I said, we want to make sure that it not only tastes good, but that it looks good, because it is the holidays. And the presentation, is, as in many things that we do, the presentation is very important. It's all in the packaging. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you this now, but this will get wrapped and have bows on it and everything, because it is the highlight of our dessert table. And what I'm doing now, I'm going to show it to you now the way it is, but I can't wrap it for you to see it because it's still a little bit warm, and we don't want it to get any steam in there. So there's just one other thing here. Let me see if I can find this. And okay, Then this is like the final little touch that we do here. We put these pretty colored sprinkles on it. So there you can see that's our masterpiece. And I'll show it to you again when I have the dessert table set up, so you'll be able to see it along with the other desserts that we make. I hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a try yourself. And if it doesn't come out right the first time, just continue and try it again. You really can't ruin it. Happy holidays. Well, as you can see, I've got the things out on the hutch, so they look a little bit different. And you'll see at the far end there, I have a lemon chiffon cake. And next to that, I have a pastiere. That's an Italian grain pie. It's a traditional Easter pie. But we really like to have it for Christmas as well because Phil really loves it. And then, of course, in the center there, you'll see the strufelas, the ones that you watched me make earlier today. And we kind of have that in our starring position. Next to that, we have an apple pie with pecans and caramel. And that's a very delicious cake as well, so we really like that. And then next to that we have our traditional peanut brittle, and everybody just loves that. And then at the end there, you can see that we have a cherry cheesecake. My granddaughter, who is away at college, will be home shortly. And one of her very favorites is the cheesecake that I make. And when I made one for Thanksgiving, she took about half of it back to the dorm with her and put it in the refrigerator. And when she got ready to have a piece the next morning, it was all gone. So she was really disappointed about that. So as you can see, we are about ready to prepared. It won't be long until everybody will be piling in on us here, and we'll have a house full of people with about 20 to 24 people here. So we are getting ready. I haven't gone in and gotten dressed yet, but I'm going to be doing that very shortly, but I did want to show you. I'm in the process of setting up our table, and we have to improvise for that. As you can see here, this is one end of the table, and that's where Phil will be sitting. In fact, he sits on the couch there because the table reaches all the way across the room. And then my daughter-in-law just came in, that's Sal's wife, and she brought that lovely flower centerpiece to me. And so we have that right in the center of the table. But I'm still in the process of getting it organized, and as you can see, there are several places that we set that are places of honor. There's the cheese that we have because we're going to be serving linguine with the great fish gravy. So that's all prepared there, and as you can see there, that's the seat where our grandson Jeremiah will sit. He has a nice sturdy chair that has a roller on it so that it's easy for him to get in and out of. And then that goes into the kitchen, and if you've been hearing some hammering going on, that's because Phil is cracking the stone crab claws because they're very difficult to crack at the table. So he's in the process of doing that. Let's go into the kitchen. And as I explained to you earlier, we do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. So here in the forefront with the saran wrap on it, that's the king crab. Now I cooked those legs whole within the gravy that's going to be served over our pasta. But we went ahead and took the meat out of the legs so that it would be easier to handle. And behind that is a shrimp cocktail. Now that's a huge shrimp cocktail, don't you agree? But I make my own cocktail sauce, so it's really fresh and lemony, and we all just love it, so it's really good. And stuffed mushrooms is pretty traditional with us. I take the stems out and chop those up with some onion and garlic and breadcrumb and grated cheese and parsley and olive oil, and we brown that in a frying pan, and then we stuff that back into the mushroom caps, and we'll put that in the oven in just a few minutes, and I'll drizzle some olive oil on that, and after it cooks a little bit, I will sprinkle it with some sherry that has some lemon juice squeezed in it. So it just makes for a wonderful, wonderful dish. And then next to that, we have our stuffed tilapia. And that's stuffed with the same stuffing that's in the mushrooms. So those are excellent as well. And they'll come out with a real caramelized sauce there that we'll spoon over that with the sherry as well. And here on our kitchen sink there next to the stove is the stone crab claws. And we'll serve those warm with hot drawn butter. And that pretty much makes up our meal, along with our linguine that we're going to serve, and followed by all those wonderful desserts that we have, and some demi-tasse coffee, espresso coffee, or cappuccino. So I hope your family has a great holiday, and make it a tradition. The Braccos always have the Feast of the Seven Fishes for Christmas Eve. Happy holidays! And this is what it's all about. We've been working all day so that we could enjoy our family, prepare all their favorites, the things that they like. Say Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas! And a Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And then we've got some of the ladies in the kitchen still preparing food. Happy New Year. Santa. Who came to the house? Is that Santa Claus has come to see our kids? Oh my goodness.
Get it now?
Yeah.
You want to see Santa? Oh, Madison wants to see Santa.
Of course she does.
Yes, Madison.
Corey, wait till Madison gets to see him. Madison's been very good this year.
She's good every year.
Yes, she
Merry
is.
Christmas to you. Here you go, man. Okay. Oh, that was gross.
Uh-oh, that's for the Haley doll. Corey, come here, boy. Your turn's next.
You guys must have been very good to have
Okay, now it's your
Santa
turn,
come.
boy. Good job. Ho, up you go, boy. Smile, boy, smile. Uh-oh, Santa. Hold on.
There you go.
All right. Finally, after 4 years, we got a smile on that kid's face. Jeez.
Hey, Mommy. What?
All right, Mommy. Merry Christmas, Mommy.
Where's your bag that you had? There you go.
Santa Claus has got something for you, Morgan. What has Santa got?
Oh, you got candy for him?
All right.
Morgan doesn't like candy. She hates candy.
Yeah. Here you go, Morgan. Here you go, dear.
Aww. I guess she must have counted and knew it was her turn, huh?
Thank you, Santa.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh.